Hey y'all.
I am back again to share the other file folder journals that I made. I have two of them. This one is already spoken for. When I posted the last ones, this particular lady, she missed out and she asked me if I had any more. So I showed her the two that I had, and this was the one that she picked. So I went ahead and put these together, and very similar stuff to the first two I did. There's a few different elements, because I didn't have exactly the same little things, but for the most part, it's a lot of the same stuff. So I made the little pockets or little fabric envelopes this time again, and then there's a little key charm on here, and then I had a couple of these pretty little floral paper clips left, so I added one of these to each one. And then I used I didn't have the same mailer envelope. I just have a regular sort of manila envelope, or craft. It's not really craft color, it's kind of the yellow envelope. Didn't need washi tape on it, but I put you a piece of some of my scrap fabric washi in here. Plus there's I'm not going to pull this all out, but there's a bunch of stuff in here. There's some of the flowers like that was in the last one, some washi, some other little die cuts, and fabric pieces to make pockets or tabs or whatever you want to in there. So that's the little goodie pack that comes with it as well. I'm not going to go through all that. I'll let that be a surprise. So for this one, for both of these, I made ties for these. I didn't have any of the same ties like I had on the last one. I make them different each time. So this, I just took scrap pieces of vintage sheets and made the tie. And tried to use some of this, some of the same colors. Like there's a couple of little pieces of this same vintage sheet on here. I thought they turned out really pretty, and they're gonna fray a little bit like the rest of them will. But yeah, I like the way those turned out. And then for this one, the charm I had left that I thought went best with this one, I had two of these charms left, and this one has some blues in it and vintage, vintage buttons, bits of jewelry from other things. There's a little heart. There's some shells on here. This one has a little bit of an oceany thing on it because I've got, there's two shells, and then there's the sand dollar, and then the heart off of a bracelet, beads off of jewelry. Like I said, vintage buttons. This is a bead that I made. And then there's another key down at the bottom. There's wire wrap buttons. This little key has a little bird on it. So I thought that was really pretty. And this is removable. Okay, so you can take that off. You can use this in bits. This chain is actually from a necklace, a piece of a necklace, and you can see it's got this little bead cap here, and then it has two little pieces of chain off of that I added things to. So anyway, and now I don't think I ever told anybody what size these were. You can tell in the frame that they're bigger than the average journal that I make. So they're about, and boy, I sure did mess up my ruler. Let's say, yeah, it's a little over 9 inches by, like 8 wide when you wrap it up like this. But then it's stuffed full, just like the other ones were. Let me move this out of the way. Just like I did the other ones. This, I didn't have a big enough piece of the vintage sheet that I would have liked to have used in here for the pockets. This is a really pretty vintage floral though. This is some I believe I had in my stash from a long time ago. yeah, so this is pretty full with the bag of goodies in here. There's tags and bags and envelopes, policy envelope, some other little, like a popcorn bag. There's another little bag in here. This is just a bunch of little fun stuff for you to use, and then some of those little frames and journaling cards. So a lot of the same stuff that was in the last two that I did. And then I packed these. The little tags are coming out. I punched some little tags and put those in there and put the little strings on them for you. And put some other different types of bits in here. So there's a couple of my handmade buttons. There's some butterflies and hearts and a little book plate. There's a couple of little wood veneer pieces in here. Just a lot of fun stuff for you to use. So that tucks in there. And then in this pocket here, there are scraps left over, and then book pages. There's fun stuff in here that I didn't necessarily get into the book. And then up front in here, oh, it's falling out. There's a healthy pack of all kinds of goodies in these, okay? So that will just be fun stuff for you to check out when you get the book. Now, like I said, this one's already spoken for. I'm gonna do a quick flip of this. I put a couple of my little tags in here that I made a while back, and this one says, "Be brave, stay strong." And I didn't have any more of the fairies from the graphics fairy. I have some somewhere, but I can't find them. And you know, I just haven't had a chance to print any more. But anyway, there's a ton of paper. There's a ton of different paper and pages in these, just like the last one. There's kids' books. There's this is like an index from a map, and this is one big page that has this sort of pocket already that you can slip things into, or you can actually make it a pocket. You know, you can do whatever you want to there. Stationery, cardstock, scrapbook paper, needlepoint, map, pages, music. This is some, this I found in between the last ones that I made and this one. This is some of that paper that Phaedra sent me that's like, oh, it's like, it almost feels like in between a wallpaper and like a lightweight vinyl. They call it stone paper. Some wrapping paper, you know, book pages, scrapbook paper. In here I put one of my little embellishments in here. I do need to add a couple more. I haven't added the little pockets to this one. I need to add a couple of those to these. But there's just so much. There's so much already in here. The art book pages. I clipped in a couple of book pages in this one. Some extra book pages. Just a lot of stuff. There's another little Eloise Wilkin book page. Another kid's book. These are some things that Phaedra sent me, and they're a little bit thicker. They're kind of like cardstock, but I thought they were neat. And then they have these little holes in them, so like you could put something on the back of that and have something peeking through. This could be just a regular journal, you know. It could be an art journal. It can be whatever you wanted it to be. It could be a flow journal. You could take it apart and use these pieces and other books, however you want to do, whatever you want to do with it. Deli paper, shorthand paper, wrapping paper, which I thought was really cool. Loads of little people on that. garden book pages. Yeah, I thought this is from the one of those big books. That's the Three Little Pigs. And I haven't counted the pages, but I'm pretty sure there's like 20 like 20 pages in each signature. So if you do that times, you know, 4 in each signature, it's a lot. There's a lot in here. And there's still a lot of room to grow. Yeah, I'm doing this kind of fast because there's so much in here. These are fun. These are fun to make because they're just random. And, you know, I like the randomness of it. The difference in all the different types of pages. You can, some of these pages are really nice. You can paint on them, draw on them, write on them. So here's the envelope I was talking about. So here's one side of it. And then there's another piece of wallpaper. And then I put some smaller pieces in here. I think these are fun too. And you can, like if you don't want something in here, you can tear them out. You just be careful when you do it, but you can do that. This is a Bambi page. This particular Bambi page had a tear in it. I just taped it with some Scotch tape. There's old vintage quilt books. And then there's the other side of the envelope, and I tucked in some more. Most of those are little golden book pages from other books. You know, ledger. So it's 4 signatures, full, jam-packed. Of all different kinds of paper. So that's the first 3. And this is the last signature. And then I put in one of my pockets, my Joey DeFee pockets, and it's stuffed with stuff in there for you to use. Yeah. So that, and it's attached to, this is another piece of wallpaper. This is like a textured wallpaper, so this would be cool. This would be cool to paint. Add something else to, whatever you want to do. More wrapping paper. Writing paper, daily, map, scrapbook. These are these pages are from one of my favorite art books, which I love all these books. I love the pages and the different textures and tons and tons of stuff. And then there's buttons in each signature. Most of those are vintage. That was from the little calendar page. So lots of space for writing, for journaling, for adding photos, or you know, you could take bits and pieces out to use in other projects if you want to. Okay, so that's the 4 signatures. Now, if you take all this stuff out, you know, if you take these things out, I'll show you how it gives you. See, while there's a lot in there, there's a lot of room to grow in these. Okay, so it can be a nice, you know, chunky journal if you want it to, or you know, it can be if you're just going to use it for writing and not add a lot of things to it. You know, it can just be like this. Or I lost my stitching. Okay. So you can see the 4 signatures sewn in with the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. and then the charm. Okay. So that is the one that's already spoken for. She wanted to see a flip through. So that was that one. And then here is the other one. So it's in the yellows. It's really pretty as well. I like this one too. So here's a piece of the washi that goes with. There's other stuff in here too. There's a ton of stuff in here, y'all. Lots and lots of fun stuff. There's more washi, there's flowers, there's fabrics, there's die cuts, a couple of wood pieces, okay? There's a lot of stuff. And then here's the little key charm on this one. It's got a little star, and I love this vintage button right here. I think it's so pretty. I've been kind of hoarding this one. But what am I going to do with it? You know, I've got so much stuff. It's ridiculous. So here's the tile on this one. You can see different, this is not a sheet. This is another little fabric that was gifted to me from Jennifer. But this little piece right here is the only one that's not sheet, vintage sheet fabric. So you can see all the different pieces that I added on this one. Okay. And same thing, stuffed, it is stuffed. And then here is the charm. So this is another one of the charms that was in the shop that I made that, you know, I pulled them out just to put them on journals. So there's a wing on this one. This one's a really cool old key down here with the feather, the little crystal, one of my beads, little bits of beads from jewelry. I like this metal butterfly too. She's really pretty. I think this was one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite. Look at the little vintage buttons here. And then this was one of my little tiles I made that has the shells on it. Yeah, these were super fun. These were super fun to take all these pieces, you know, of stuff and put them together. So that is removable too. This is the vintage sheet on this one, which I love these colors. They're really, really pretty. Here is the pocket that's got all the fun goodies in it. My handmade buttons, you know, hearts, butterflies, some veneer. There's also a little, there was also one of these in the other one too. It's like a little, like the little buttons, but they're little, oh, what do they call those things? Anyway, it's like a button, but it's got it's sealed on the top. You can use it like a, okay, my words aren't coming to me. You can use it like a button. You can glue it to something. It's got dimension to it. So stamped butterflies and other little pieces, hearts and stuff. So that's that. And then the bag, same kind of stuff in here as in the other one. And then here's your bag of goodies here and here. There's a ton of stuff in here, y'all. There's tags, there's index cards, there's layaway, there's all kinds of playing cards and some old stamps. You know, just all kinds of fun stuff. Vintage and new. So here is this one, the way it lays out, okay? And this one says choose to shine, this little tab. So about the same amount of pages in this one. This one's gonna go in the shop. When this video goes up, it's gonna be in the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and put them both in there. The other one's reserved, unless she decides she doesn't want it. In that case, I won't list it as reserved, but if you see reserved, then you know that's for someone that's already spoken for. So same books in each of these. pages from the same books. Pooh Bear, one of my favorites. I like these. This particular little signature is from a really old book, and the pages, I love the texture of those particular pages and these from the Three Little Pigs from that big book. And the illustrations. Love the black and white stuff. And the garden book. And scrapbook paper. And then this drawing book. I really love that drawing book. I was really hesitant to take that apart, and then I thought, well, I'm not going to use it. Why be ridiculous? And the vintage map. And that's from like the 30s or 40s. Okay, so that's the first signature, and then the second one. Norman Rockwell calendar. I try to fold those so you could see the images. This is actually Italy here. Love these. I love those maps. And I don't think I clipped any book pages in here. I just stuck them in the back or in the envelope that's in here. Love this of the Big Bad Wolf. So I put him in the middle, and I put a little put these little vintage buttons in here. One's red and one's a little wood button. Look at the little ladybug right there. Just the detail that they put in some of those, in those illustrations in those books. Love it. Love it, love it. Oops. Got a naked lady shot. And then the other piece of that has France and Switzerland on the back of that. So that's the second signature. So you can see there's just, like I said 5 times, there's just a ton of space, some blank spaces, lots of spaces that already have things on them that you can just work around, or you can cover up however you want to do. This is wallpaper. Bambi and some little vintage buttons in there. And then here is the Joey DeFee pocket here that's stuffed. It's stuffed with stuff in there that you can use. And that's what I did this time. I put a lot of some of the things that I clipped in the other two that I did, I actually just stuck them in this pocket. This is that craft page. Garden book. Yeah, and then I put a bunch of pages in here. Little images that you can use to make pockets or tags or tuck spots or whatever you want to do with it. A Dr. Seuss page. So that is the third signature, and this is the last signature here. This is a super old book too, the Ask Me book, Best Loved Fairy Tales. I think Jessica sent me that. Really cute illustrations in that too, the way they did, sort of monochromatic. So here's the page. Here's the page in here. Another page in here that has the, well, no, I think I did one in the other one and one in this one where it's like a pocket. This is wrapping paper, like vintage sample wrapping paper. And this came from a storybook. I thought this was cool with the line. I thought the colors went really well. But you can, you know, you don't have to use that. You can just use it as a base, you know, like if you have, you know, pictures, you don't have to use the line. You can cover him up. Y'all know the drill. You can, and then these, a couple of these I made like pockets. I either did it this way or I did it where you could tuck things up under. And here is, there's one of these in each one. It's just, I just folded up a piece of deli paper into sort of an envelope, but I'm gonna leave it like that so you can seal it as an envelope and use it that way, decorate it, whatever, you know, embellish it, whatever you wanna do. Or you can just use bits and pieces of that. That needs to be stuck back there. So there's one in the other journal as well. Just ask me questions about Cinderella. Cinderella. And that is that one. And then here's all the stuff that goes in this one. And then when you close it up, you can see, you know, how much space you have, you know, and then it can just grow. Because this is wide enough that when it starts to grow, you know, you can wrap this around and it's just a ton of space in there. Anyway, so that, whoops, craft lunch. That stuff just fell. And then you can attach this, you know, if you decide you want to attach it to the journal and just wrap it around, you can. Or you can use these, like I said, you know, as bits and pieces, however you want to use it. And it'll be in the shop when this video goes up. All right, and then all of this goes back in there. I'll put it back in there. Yep. So that is that one. And I'll probably put this flower somewhere else. I'll probably stick it in here somewhere for getting it together to mail. If anyone is interested. I do have one Dumbo journal still left in the shop. The 1980 version. That one's still there if anybody's interested in that. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think, as always. And I'll be back soon. I've got some happy mail. I keep talking about I need to share it. I'm going to try to get that video done today. I had a look. There we go. Just a little thread there. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. I hope you all are well. Love you. Bye.